Alright, what's up people? It's Mateo.
And Casey.
And this is video number 2 on how to edit content and create content on berk.berkeley.edu, the awesomest environmental website at UC Berkeley. So we already went over how to create new blog posts, and today we wanted to just touch on how you create new pages. So to show you here, blog posts are all these posts that are on our blog, pretty self-explanatory. Pages are all these actual pages that you can go to through our navigation. There is one distinction though, which is that a nav item, so looking at this, there's navigation and then there's pages. Navigation basically means all this stuff that drops down here and then all this stuff that's in our top menu. So all these are primary nav items, and then there's sub items, and then once you click on those you can tell it to go to a specific page. So first let's create a page. Casey, you want to do it?
Boy, do I ever. Alright, so you can see the different pages that have already been posted, and so if you are confused and everything, you can just click on one and get an idea. But it is pretty much the same thing as creating a blog. So you just create a new page, you give your page a title like
Berk Rocks.
Yay! And then the page content can be anything that you want to put in there. Same thing like before with the blog, you can insert an image. Remember to go to upload, find your image, wherever you want to put that.
I would do it just so we have, so we then point this page later with some sort of, oh yeah, and you have to click send it to the server,
Very
which is
important.
a confusing part.
Yeah, otherwise it won't go.
And then here on this width and height thing was what we were talking about. You can change that to anything you want, and it'll automatically change the aspect ratio. I found that if you want something to cover the entire page, I think it's 600 to go from left to right. That's the width of the column of a page.
Exactly. So if we say OK, you can see that it's pretty much spanning the entire thing. The other thing is, if you right-click on this and you go to image properties, you can also be taken back to the same page. If you ever do something, yeah, it's great, right? So if you wanted to make it a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, you can do that within that little area.
Okay. So what else do you do in pages? Well, you can write out all the content you want right there. We don't have too much to say about how awesome we are, just the fact that we are pretty awesome. And then at the top of the page you can see, well, this WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get. It just lets you hyperlink how awesome we are to maybe a Wikipedia entry on that. You can
let's show them how to
link anything.
Yeah, so let's do that.
Yeah, so even you can do an image, or you can do an actual word and then just link it up to anything you want, like even to a type of search. So link it to that. It'll automatically take out the HTTP from that, and then you can just click OK, and then that should be a link. And if you ever need to insert code, you can just click on source, and this is good for when you want to, for example, embed a video or just code your own thing. I know for Symposium we've inserted code from Eventbrite so people can purchase their Eventbrite tickets right from our website. So source can be helpful for that sort of stuff.
The other cool thing that link does too is if you come over here and you click on link, you can pick email.
Oh, yeah.
And point. So this is kind of nice because you could pick email, and then you can have a picture or whatever email directly to an email address. And this is also important if you have you want to have communication, make it really easy for your readers.
Totally. And then over here, you can, like Casey said, leave this hidden for now until you have all your ducks in a row. The page type, it's just to kind of guide you a little bit on what type of page this is. So if it's going to influence the URL, so maybe if we're talking about how much we rock, maybe we just talk about projects, or you can create a new page type. And then this sidebar thing is basically to show which of these blocks would you like to show up on this new page. So events and the Twitter feed are the default, but if you also add some of these blocks, they'll show up. Now, these blocks, we'll get into those later to show what exactly they mean or how you create them. They're actually here in templates, but for now, we'll just check them and you're going to see what's going to happen. Okay, and then do you go from here to view it or do you publish?
Yeah, sometimes I come down here and I click on preview because you can see that right away, something that's going on.
What do you think is happening there?
Well, I think what happened was we need to save first so it creates this page down here. And so then you can click on it.
What about that exclamation? Do you think that's an issue or no?
I don't know. Let's see. Go to save changes.
So it's still hidden, but it lets us preview.
Yeah. So yes, apparently no exclamation points. You can be excited, but you'll have to be excited in the body of your page.
No, but I think you can be excited. Just to clarify that one, I think you can be quite excited, but maybe you just don't let that excitement show in your URL.
Okay.
I think that's my theory, but you guys can test that later on. But you should still be able to have
there we go.
Good chunk of excitement there.
Learn
And
something new every day.
Finally, just hit publish and save it, and now you've published that. However, just by publishing doesn't mean that you're going to be able to find it here. There's no place where we've said, where should Burke Rocks appear? Should it be a program? Should it be here? So that's when we jump into the actual navigation. So if we wanted to create a new nav item, let's say under programs, and we'll just do this for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
A nav item,
We'll
and then we'll delete it because we don't have a staging site to do this as just a test. We can click here on creating a new nav item, and then the name can be, just in case somebody sees this, future thinking. And that way it doesn't stand out so much. And then the URL for this nav item is the URL of your page. So we had Burke Rocks, and this is the URL, but let's just go to the CMS and go to pages, and you're going to look for our very latest one, Burke Rocks, right here. And then this gives us this URL. So copy that URL, because basically we're going to be telling the system to take a new nav item and point it at that page. In which order? Well, if we want to put it, say you're back here in our, I'm going to go back to the site and say that we want this to be in programs as the very last one below Burke White Papers. That's where the order comes in. So you can say if something's a 0, a 1, a 2. In this case, we can say it's part of programs, and then our order can be like, let's put it like as a 5. So let's save it for a split second. Refresh here, and maybe now we have programs, future thinking. Click on that, and we should go to Burke Rocks if everything works.
Yay!
Okay, and now very quickly, before anything happens, we're gonna go to navigation, look for this new item, Berg Rocks, and let's delete it. So just like we did with blog entries or with pages, you can find this one here, kind of like highlight it. X. Just want to make sure that it's green, and that's the only green thing. And then delete it. Are you sure you want to delete it? Okay. So now we've taken that nav item away, and now if you go back here and refresh once more, you should not be able to see future thinking. Okay? So that's how you create pages and navigation items that take you to pages.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.